And how we doing, San Diego? Welcome to it. Monday Fun Day here on Gwynn and Chris, kicking off another week, a short week. Happy Thanksgiving week to everybody as we spend the next couple of hours with you here. Gwynn and Chris on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Skraby. Three of us acting today, Skraby, as the 49ers pregame show. 49ers taking on the Carolina Panthers Monday Night Football. We'll
a little
have
nervous
a
about this
broadcast
game.
for you.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
All right.
A little
Love
nervous
it.
about this game.
Why?
Glad to hear that.
Panthers are better than I think we all think they are. So
Okay.
defense is not very good right now. They lost the guy that filled in for Fred Warner. So it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking
Panthers win tonight. They would go into first place in the NFC South. That is something very few people expected. There are a lot of things that have happened in the NFL that very few people expected this year. But
I mean, the NFC South is known for being quite wonky most of the time.
Topsy-turvy, yeah. But we got the Bears on top in one of the divisions now. Your Bears, Tony, and Caleb Williams. They're getting it done and staying out on top. The Eagles let the Cowboys back in the fray yesterday. I'm sure that, Cowboys paid for it.
No, the Eagles paid for it. Letting the Cowboys, letting those Cowboys hang around as long as they did.
Yeah.
It caught up to them.
No, I mean, they let them back in the fray as far as back into the season. I mean, the Cowboys now, all of those Cowboy, people who thought they were going to the Super Bowl last week. I mean, what are they going to be thinking this week after they beat the Eagles? But we'll talk plenty of NFL. We got our good, bad, and ugly. It's actually going to be part of the regular program today. Our Gwynn and Chris Overtime will focus on all of the baseball stuff going on. And the reason that baseball is taking a little bit of a back seat today, Tony, is the fact that it's a big day in San Diego sports.
Yes,
without the Padres or baseball being involved. We got the SDFC big Western semifinal tonight, and the Aztecs tonight are going to be playing in Las Vegas against 7th-ranked Michigan. So two big events tonight.
Who lost a tough one 2 days ago.
Michigan. So they'll be in a great mood. Yeah.
So it's we often forget sometimes how nice it is now that we have some teams that are competitive, right? It's not just the Padres. Off-season rolls around. The SDFC has surprised most of the league and has gotten to the semifinals. And the Aztecs, who play this type of competition seemingly every year, they play a Michigan, a Houston last year, and they haven't disappointed in those type of games here recently. So another chance really for the Aztecs to have a little bounce back here.
Yeah, I'm not, look, I mean, Michigan is supposed to be like really one of the great teams in the country. I know they're ranked number 7 and they've got, NBA prospects that have basically been flown in. Even Brian Dutcher had to be a little careful in some of his terminology today because he didn't want to be critical. But Brian Dutcher said, look, this is the best team that NIL money can buy right now, and that's Michigan. And it is what it is. You've got the resources to go out there and basically recruit yourself an all-star college basketball team if you're willing to pay for it. And I'm not honestly being critical of Michigan at all. They're operating well within the rules that are out there, and they have the ability to do this. And Brian Dutcher wasn't being critical either, Tony. He was just stating what is. Yeah, this is how good of a team they have.
No shade. I think, Dutch has to use NIL to keep guys where they are. So, yes, this is at a maybe a higher clip in a lot of cases, but this is the way of college sports in general. I mean, it's not just – these are the sports we talk about mainly, basketball and football, but – NIL is having an effect across the board in a lot of sports, but specifically those two for sure.
Yeah, well, you're right. And one of the guys, by the way, that the University of Michigan offered a boatload of cash to was a guy named Magoon Gwath, who decided to stay here in San Diego. So hopefully Magoon can help prove that he made the right decision tonight. The Aztecs, we got to say it, Tony. I don't like to ever jinx my own team, but the Aztecs are actually dangerous in these kinds of situations, and they've proven this in the past.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
Hopefully they'll show up big tonight in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, hopefully SDFC tonight. They got a chance to go to the Western Final, and they've got Minnesota coming in at Snapdragon Stadium. There's going to be a full house. People are going crazy, I'm sure, already. Some of you are probably on your way to the match right now, and I only wish I was there to see it, because I think it's going to be an incredible evening, and you've got everything on the line. Minnesota did beat SDFC, as we know, here the last time they played a month or so ago. But and how is this 2-week layoff going to have an effect on anybody? We don't know until the match starts tonight, Tony.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, the good thing is that both teams are dealing with the same type of layoff. No one has played games while another team has been out. They both had to sit out due to the international pause. Good news, that break probably is what allows Andres Dreyer to play, as well as Chucky Lozano, both who were injured in that, I shouldn't say injured. One was sick, didn't participate, and one was actually injured in Chucky Lozano. So, we don't know with the rest if there's going to be any of it, but certainly, one thing's for sure: Snapdragon is going to be jumping here tonight as the SDFC tries to advance to the Western Conference Finals, where I believe Vancouver ended up winning that crazy game against LAFC, if I'm not mistaken.
I was hoping I could get to that result before you asked me. I hadn't actually looked it up. I meant to look it up the other day. It is, I'd be straight honest with you guys. I'm a pretty good sports fan. I follow what's going on. For some reason, MLS scores are not easy to come by.
It's really difficult to get an MLS score.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know.
They put scores up in every other league. I mean, I watch ESPN all day Saturday. I'm watching college football. They're running the bottom line there the whole way through. And I don't see any MLS coverage at all. I don't quite understand all that.
Here's a conspiracy.
What do you got? Okay.
How much do the other 4 sports conspire against MLS to not allow them to get more popular?
Because I don't even think it's on their radar.
And Chris, please pull your camera down a little bit. You don't think it's even on their radar?
I don't.
Really? I feel like
you don't think people, Tony, fight for space on the bottom line, the ESPN bottom line?
I do.
Well,
I'm wondering. I think it's a fair point. I mean, the bottom line,
they lobby for it. They don't pay.
Are we talking about bottom lines? Like you talking about?
No, the bottom line, that little black, little black strip at the bottom of the screen that a lot of people get their sports news from.
How much do I think they jockey for that?
Yeah, I think leagues probably. Baseball doesn't have to jockey for it.
I don't think the leagues. I don't think MLB, NFL, MLB have to jockey.
I don't think so. But what about MLS?
But what I'm saying, that's who they're jockeying against. So I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're jockeying against those 3.
But I would think because NFL has a deal with ESPN, NBA has a deal with ESPN, hockey has a deal with ESPN. Right. They're going to put those there. MLS does not have a deal with ESPN, and I don't ever see them on the bottom line.
The other sports don't have to worry about it because
they're already in.
They're the priority. So I don't think it's on their radar. Now, trust me, I'm sure all 3 of those have somebody watching that if it was way too much MLS and their stuff was getting pushed down, they would make a stink about it.
Now, we're getting people pushing back. HB949 Sports Jeff is his name. That's a mouthful. You can look up MLS scores on your phone. Also, Nate says, I find it easily online. What we're saying is, I can get any NBA score like popping up on my phone, even though I don't want the NBA score. But I cannot get an SDFC score.
You don't have to
pop
search
up
for those other ones.
I don't have to search.
You'll run into them accidentally.
Yeah, we're not talking about. You're absolutely right. I can go on my phone and look for it, but I will tell you, it's about 7-8 clicks away. Whereas the bottom line of ESPN is in my face the whole day while I'm watching college football. And I think the MLS quarterfinals, I think the results of that match should be on there somewhere. And I never saw it. So anyway, Vancouver did win, right, Tony?
Yeah.
4-3 on penalties. So it ended up a 2-2 draw in regulation, but Vancouver will be the opponent. On the other side, yesterday, Inter Miami destroyed FC Cincinnati 4-0. So
tough
that
day
means
for Cincinnati fans over there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yes, it was.
And then New York City FC beat Philadelphia, which was the number 1 seed in the East. So it'll be Messi and Miami against New York City.
Oh, we're one step closer.
So, right, we're just a couple steps away maybe from getting a showdown with Messi. That would be the dream matchup, I think, if you could get to the final game and have to play Messi. So we'll see how it all turns out in the MLS. But tonight's a big, big night. We're excited. I know everybody's excited. We're going to have Andrew Wiebe, who's going to be the sideline reporter on the Apple TV MLS package coverage tonight. And so we'll have him on to preview the match in just a little while. But as far as everything else is concerned, guys, how was your weekend? San Diego, everything okay? Obviously, I'm still here. We're done in the Bahamas. We lost today to Penn State.
Let me cut you off right there.
Finally come home tomorrow.
Let me cut you off there, and we're gonna get into your weekend on the other side.
Yeah, no, I was just giving a quick update. I know that it's our break time.
I sometimes quick is not your middle name.
Well, it's going to be this time, so you better be ready with the button, Skraby, because we're out.
Tony Gwynn Jr. here for SDC.
All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yep.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, they could pave that. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. They can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the third car back, and there's 2 left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here, and then the going straight is also red, and that is backed up each of the lanes. So that I've got cars on my right, I've got cars on my left, I got 2 in front of me, I got people behind me. No big deal. Light cycles through. And our turn doesn't come.
Oh, no.
So the cross traffic gets to go again. And then the people coming across in our direction, they get to go again. And then for a second time, they skip our turn. Well, that's what I thought. So now...
Actually, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck.
Right, you're stuck.
You're not going anywhere.
And my first thought, of course, as a good scout or, athlete, is to look around. Is there any way out? Can I back up? Can I, I'll do anything. But there is nowhere for me to go.
No.
It happens a third time.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty clear at this point, this light's broken. And I'm starting to think, how are we going to get out of this? Am I going to have to call, the police to come and fix it? No one's going to know it's broken.
911 emergency response. Yeah. Emergency. Ruffin Road in Claremont. The light is stuck.
The light is stuck. And so this is 5 minutes probably, but you can imagine 5 minutes.
No,
that's a long time, right?
Time.
Well, when it comes to the 4th time, I finally start just leaning on my horn.
Oh.
I'm trying to get...
What are the people in front of you going to do?
Well, because there was a moment, right, after the traffic comes this way, it paused.
You want them to run the light.
You could at least a couple people could run the light. We could get this going here.
You want them to run the light.
I did.
Break the law.
Well, they had to. Otherwise, we'd still be there. Anyway, so this is going on. So I'm starting leaning on my horn. The lady next to me looks at me like, what the hell are you doing?
Good for her. Good for her.
And good for her. Yeah.
Kidding.
I'm like, ma'am,
kidding.
Are you just clueless? Were you going to sit here the rest of your life?
She has faith that the light's going to turn eventually.
Evidently so. If it had gone again, the guy next to me on this side rolled down his passenger window. That starts to go down. I think he's going to be mad. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the light's broken. Like, how do you not know this? We've all been sitting here for 6-7 minutes now. The 2 cars at the very front of the left turn lane are not budging. So they apparently are content to sit there for as long as it need be.
They also have faith that the light is going to turn.
But I have no faith.
What gives them that faith?
Yeah, but what gave them the faith? I mean, it had cycled through 4 times now. The 5th time, I was going to just have to get out of my car and walk up to that and go, will you please do something? Or get, and if you don't, and I would have,
something.
You know what I would have said? If you don't want to run the light, just get out of my way so I can run the light. I'm not sitting here the rest of the day. And finally, on the 5th time, the first 2 people ran the light, and the next person was able to get you know what I mean? And after a couple more cycles through, I got out of there. But I don't know.
Did the light ever start working?
I don't know. If you're at Claremont Mason Rough and Road, you might still be there. I don't know. This was 45 minutes ago or so.
Wow.
So my question to you is, how differently would you have handled this than I did? And I'll start with you, Tony. Would there have been any difference, or do you know?
I don't know if I would have laid on my horn.
You would have just never laid on it.
I think I might have maybe rolled down the window, see if I could talk to somebody, see what else.
See if anybody else was in on it?
I don't think I would have laid on my horn because, listen, what you're asking is for them to, which may not be easy for everybody, and that is the timing between when because they're waiting for their light to turn.
Yes,
right?
they were waiting for
the light's not going to turn. But that also then requires them to guess the exact kind of when the timing of when they can go. And
yeah, well, you know what? Figure it out.
I think a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with
running the light,
with
even
running
under
the light.
these circumstances. Well, I think
not when there's other cars that could actually hit them.
Okay, I think you are right. And the reason I think you're right is because of the 40 to 50 cars that were now piled up in my area behind me and around me. I was the only one honking.
Right, and then
nobody else thought to do this. All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Rough and
Afternoon, 2:18 now. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. We were totally forgot where we teased on the other side.
Chris's time in the Bahamas.
Yes,
oh wait,
yes.
I have some clips of Chris going down a slide.
Skraby's got people.
I heard you needed some coaching to get down this slide, Chris.
Some coaching? No, I needed some coaxing. I needed
coaxing.
I needed to be convinced to go down this slide. I think Skraby must have people, his minions, staged in the Bahamas because somehow he's got video of me going down this slide the other day.
Well, I was watching and then watching and watching.
Well,
and watching, and then finally there he goes.
I fired my way down, but yeah, it was pretty hairy, I will say. Anybody who's been on one of those really tall, straight down water slides know what I mean. But peer pressure's a crazy thing.
Who was responsible for peer pressuring you?
Well, here's the thing. Stacey Terry Hudson was there, the coach of the team. Her daughter was there. Our strength coach, a couple of other people. There's about 6 or 7 of us went up to the top in the line together. Excuse me, and I'll be honest with you. I don't ever want to. Stacey Terry Hudson was first in line, and she said she was going to just go and do it and get it out of the way because everybody was because you're up there and everybody who goes before you goes in and they scream and they yell as they're going down, and you're like, this doesn't sound all that good. So Stacey was first in line, and honestly, Tony, she got there right up to where you jump in the slide and kind of took a look over the top and said, I'm not going.
Wow.
And so
she backed out.
Hang on.
Oh.
She got up and she walked out for a second and said, I don't know if I can do this. And because it was, what I did, I decided that if I think about this any longer, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So I jumped in front of her, said, I'll go, jumped in and just went. And then it was over. And it was pretty fun, actually. I got to tell you, it was very exhilarating, but it does take a moment to get your nerves up.
Ooh,
and then Stacey went and everybody did it. Nobody chickened out. Everybody did it. I think everyone on the team rode it at least once, and it was a lot of fun. So we had a good time.
I had the same exact experience. Going up the same exact slide. you get to that top, and the people in front of you are screaming their heads off.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like I ended up just jumping in and getting it over with because I knew if I thought about it any longer, I was gonna be walking back down those steps. So,
walking back down with your tail between your legs.
so I can relate to that experience.
Yeah,
for sure.
well, you had I mean, if you have a whole basketball team down at the bottom waiting for you,
sure.
you better get in that slide. 'Cause
You're kind of stuck.
yeah, especially when you were the one who slowed up the beginning of the trip with the passport problem at the beginning. So
you don't want to
anyway.
you don't want to be the guy that had them late with their passport and then didn't go down the slide.
Yeah,
and then didn't even do the slide.
That was our last overtime episode. Was the
if you missed
passport
that
story. So go to Gwynn and Chris SD on YouTube.
Yeah, but my wife, I did show my wife that video, and she's like, "You got to be kidding me! I can't believe you did that." And so
You guys are acting like this is some crazy thing.
It's a deep.
Have you ever done that, Scrape? Is
Yeah,
that one of those big tall ones? Where
Yes.
it's like straight down.
Yes, I am a
not
thrill
this one.
seeker.
Yeah, I mean, he did jump out of a plane, so
Twice.
I can't.
Yeah, but he had to be held onto by his brother.
Well, that was against the law for me not to. Well, I guess it's not. They allow you to go, which is crazy. They allow you to go solo for your first time. Maybe that's changed. I would never go solo for my first time.
Period.
You kidding me?
Seems quite stupid to me.
I think a bet should be if you guys lose a bet, you have to skydive.
No shot.
Yeah, not happening. There's
Never,
no way I'll
never
make that
happen.
bet.
You know what my friends
Zero shot.
You know what my friend's excuse now as to why they don't want to skydive? Oh man, I got kids. I can't put myself at risk for my kids.
Legitimate.
Yeah,
Good,
okay.
good,
Legitimate.
legit
Good.
excuse. And
Okay, yeah, but you're going to Vegas and staying out all night, but you can't risk
As a matter of
yourself
fact,
for your kids.
That's
As a
jumping
matter of
out
fact,
a plane
Scrape-
is not the same. What's going on?
As a matter of fact, Scraby, if it comes down to me having to jump out of a plane or have a kid, we'll have a kid. 'Cause we're not jumping out the
So
plane.
Chris would rather sign up for 18 years than jumping out of a plane for 4 minutes.
Yes.
Right. Yes, that's
Absolutely.
I think that would be a
Kayla
solid
says,
choice by me.
Skrady, they get a heart attack, bruh.
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Trade went down over the weekend. Before we do that, though, remind everybody, remember to listen around 3:35. Short show today. Skraby's Niners and who they got?
Panthers.
Niners and
Bang,
Panthers.
bang, Niner gang.
Bang, bang, Niner game. Remember, listen around 3:35 for us to announce today's biggest fan. There you'll have a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey suite at a future Padre game with all of the fan staff. Register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. Now, the blockbuster, I guess they're calling it that a little bit. At least that's how I saw it framed. Marcus Simeon of the Rangers goes to the Mets for Brandon Nimmo in a straight up swap. And so
straight up,
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. Do you have your own sports wire that I don't have?
No,
You're in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it's
so
probably-
it
probably-
didn't get to
Yes,
you yet.
yeah.
Probably didn't get
That's
it.
crazy.
But Marcus Simeon coming off a rough season last year, but I think has a higher ceiling than Brandon Nimmo in terms of what they're getting back. Nimmo's been pretty consistent over the last couple seasons.
I think Nimmo's one of those guys that I don't think's real good until the bases are loaded
Yeah,
and 2
I
outs,
agree,
and then
man.
he doubles up against the fence and changes the game around. That's what I think
agree.
of Nimmo, and
He had
obviously
he had a no trade clause too.
did he?
He had
He
to
took
waive
it,
it.
huh?
Yeah.
wow. Well, Marcus Simeon, we've talked. I mean, I think he's a hell of a player. I think he was third in the balloting for MVP a couple of years ago. But as you said 100 times, Tony, playing in New York's different.
Yeah.
And he's going to go there.
Yeah.
And I know he's in the World Series and he won that and he's, been all that, but he's never experienced this. And as soon as he goes 0 for 20, which he's capable of doing, that's going to be the real test for him coming to New York. So
Yeah, no, it's going to be an adjustment. I mean, the places he played in his career don't really match up. He's opened as a White Sox. He then went to the Athletics. Then he was a Blue Jay, and then he was a Ranger. This will be different than any of those spots that he is.
well, except for Oakland, they were pretty tough on him there.
Yeah, I'm sure. And he
These
was
7 guys that were at the game were,
Right.
"Hey, Simeon, you suck!" And you could hear the guy in the 8th row.
What I guess at the end of the day was probably why it was tougher. Is that he could actually hear everything being said,
right?
because no one was actually there. But interesting move for the Mets. They clearly are looking to change things up. Listen, what Nimmo does, as Chris said, it's sneaky. You're not paying a lot of attention to it. He plays a pretty good outfield. I think he's gotten better out there, playing center field, and maybe that's the call. The Rangers wanted a center fielder, and the Mets needed a second baseman, and so they both kind of filled that those needs with this trade. I don't know that it makes either of them that much better.
It's like a wash, kind of.
I think you're right, though, Tony. I think the Mets get the potential higher ceiling.
Yes,
Simeon could have an MVP type year. Nimmo's never going to have an MVP type year. He's just going to have a consistent year for Texas.
I also wonder if
Simeon could go way up.
I also wonder if Mets or Citi Field is better for Marcus Simeon than the Rangers Park was, because isn't the Rangers Park one of the bigger ones?
It played big this year. I know that for sure. Tetsuya Ime, is that how you say it?
Yeah, okay. Hold on, Tony. I got something for you.
Give me the. Oh, yes, right.
Remember we did this last week,
this.
And we never played it. But here's our pronunciation of it: Tatsuya Imai.
There we go. Tatsuya Imai.
Where did you get that, Skraby? Is that you or is that
me.
the computer?
Tatsuya Imai.
Why are we to believe you though?
Because Tony and I sat back there.
We sat back and we did the research. We had he found some site that had the exact. So then
Tatsuya Imai.
We had him record
it. Got it.
But I thought this is one of the Japanese pitchers, one of the Japanese players that has entered the kind of, what are we calling it? It's not a portal, right?
You post.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has been posted.
The post department.
And I think the assumption, because of how Yamamoto's signing went and Suzuki's signing went.
What about Sasaki?
I'm sorry, Sasaki's signing went. That they both I think everybody assumes that the next Japanese player wants to play with another Japanese player. Give me my man's name again.
Tatsuya Imai.
There we go. Mr. Imai. He looks at it a little bit differently. He says, if they were Japanese people, they'd just tell you anything if you asked, right? I don't really want that. In a way, I want to experience the survival vibe, he says, and when facing cultural differences, making how I overcome them on my own one of the fun parts. Now, I don't know how good Imai is, but certainly not a thought that he necessarily has to be teamed with another Japanese player.
Yeah, but I also don't believe any of these guys, right, Skraby? I mean, didn't Roki Sasaki said he was scared of going to the big markets?
Yeah, he said
his agent said that.
Well, doesn't that come from him?
That's not if I remember it correctly.
If my agent said
he said that he thought he would be better based on his own.
He did because of how his personality is and everything, and then he just went
and his agent was 100%.
Anyway.
Wrong.
100% right. No, he was right for the first 6 months.
Oh, that's true. You're right. That's a great point. That's a great point.
The guy was a crybaby until all of a sudden it got to October and he became Mariano Rivera.
You know what?
It made no sense.
That's a great point, Chris. The agent turned out to be exactly right. They had to kind of protect him in a way before they let him out for the world. Let him out before they allowed him to play in the playoff.
Well, they were like, "Stop crying on TV. It's not good for our brand." Okay,
can't do it. Look.
All right,
Padres are going to have to be creative. We know that, and hopefully that's one of the ways they can be creative and add to this team.
I love that we had that recorded. That's great. All right.
Imai.
Yes. Let's get to the break. When we come back, Big Five. We're doing it early.
Oh, we got so many good topics today, guys.
Man, this is as filled up as I've seen the Big Five.
Like Joey Gallo's doing something that I think it's time for him to move on from his dreams.
Oh, I know what he's doing. You'll find out on the other side. We're going to Chris. Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame. And then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you see your strengths being able to be applied to this ball club and how it may be of help?
Yeah, Mike had so much experience of organizing, how to be a great baseball team. He'd been mentored by many great managers, right. And he'd taken a lot from those guys. And I just listened to what he had to say about that stuff, and I saw how he did it, observing and listening to how he kind of went about his business. So a lot of the things that he did, I'm going to probably keep doing the same thing. What I think I can add is maybe just I'm a little younger. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I've got some relationships within the clubhouse that are maybe a little bit different. Does that give me the avenue to push them in a little bit different way or like sneak in there to get them to do a few things that they haven't been quite, open to in the past? Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But, I'm going to treat them, with respect and hopefully get that respect back. And we're going to try to make this team as best they can be.
Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, you're clearly coming this with your eyes wide open with this situation. I heard you say partnering on multiple occasions up on the stand there. What does that look like for the fans who are listening and may not know what partnering looks like? What exactly is that?
Yeah, partnering, it's a give and a take. We have relationships with our families, our moms, our dads, our wives, our kids. It's not always my way or the highway. Right. There's got to be, even in this decision to become the manager, there was a lot of give and take with me and Audrey, deciding what was important to her and what we were going to miss by taking this, what was important to me, what I was going to miss in this, and then coming to a decision that works best for both of us. And I think those types of things can happen throughout the year with players, trying to get them on the field to do certain things in practice or in the game, but like partnering them in the way that's like, it's not just my decision.
Right.
We're in this together. We're accomplishing a goal together. It's not my, championship that we're going to win. It's our championship. It's the Padres championship. It's AJ's, it's John's, it's Eric's, it's Manny's, it's Toddy's.
Right.
It's all of ours together. It's Ruben's. We share that success together. I'll handle the blame, and then we'll do this together.
Last one, I'll let you get out of here. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Mike Shildt did a terrific job of really shielding his players. He always was the man taking all the arrows coming at the ball club. But you also mentioned being able to push the guys. What does that look like? Because I think oftentimes fans hear, managers take the arrows and they're under the impression that there isn't any, pushing going on the backside of that. What does that look like sometimes?
Yeah, we got great players. So like the amount of pushing I need to do is limited.
Right.
But we can give them new ideas on how to navigate a season. And Mike was so good at like handling the players and taking the arrows, like you said, in the media and throughout the season and pumping those guys up and making them feel great. But there's ways that like maybe they haven't been exposed to, and that's what we're going to challenge our staff to do is come up with creative ways to keep Manny Machado, healthy for a full season. Xander Bogaerts healthy for a full season as they get a little older in age and can we have guys peaking at the right time and stuff like that? Just like open to new ideas and creative ideas, and the players will be partnering with that with the coaching staff to create something that we think will, build us a championship team.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager, and Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see,
yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but, I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part. But we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to
All right, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. Chrisello, Matt Skraby, and if you're watching on YouTube, looks like we're working with an empty chair, Skrabe. I see a chair there. There he is. Mr. Gwynn coming back into the picture here as we roll into the 2:30 slot, and we will go till 4 today. Got the Big Five, and it's a good one, right, Skrabe?
I think so.
All right, well, then let's not waste any time. Let's give you as much time as you possibly can have.
How generous.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I gotta say, before you get started, Skraby,
Yes.
I like this Imai guy, man.
Tatsuya Imai?
I like him.
Me too.
I at least like his mentality. He said,
What position does he play?
He's a
I didn't
pitcher.
hear that.
He's a pitcher.
Okay.
He said, of course, I'd enjoy playing along Otani and Yamamoto and Sasaki. But winning against a team like that and becoming a world champion would be the most valuable thing in my life. If anything, I'd rather take them down.
This is the guy for me.
I'm just saying, we need more mindsets like that.
Come on to town.
That's all I'm saying.
You, Darvish, won't be in your way because he'll be rehabbing. Yuki Matsui's in the bullpen, so you're good.
He said he wants to see how his fastball holds up against Otani. I like the way this guy's talking. I'm just saying.
Too.
I don't know nothing about him. I don't know if his fastball
I would think
is
as a
88 or 98.
I would also
like
think
the way
as
he's
a
talking.
somebody remind him that Petco's a really good place for pitchers. Just saying.
Just saying.
Good point, Chris. Good point.
Just saying.
I digress. Go ahead, Scrap.
Well, I gotta say this first because Ben Woods, they announced a really, really awesome prize this morning. So I'm just gonna read to promote it. Join Tier 1 David J. from Hop Run Tours for an unforgettable trip to the Windy City next summer with Ben Woods to watch San Diego take on Chicago at one of the most historic stadiums in all of baseball. This package from Hop Run Tours will include round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations for three nights at a 4-star hotel, stadium tour, and tickets to 2 games, plus a group dinner with Ben Woods. Visit 973thefansd.com/Chicago for all the details. This special fan trip is brought to you by Hop Run Tours, who handles all the travel and event details. 97.3 The Fan is proud to promote this package. So go to the website, 973thefansd.com/Chicago to enter.
I already signed up. I'm hoping to win, and
if they pick your name, your name's going back in the hopper.
If I do win, I'm going to appreciate the prize, but I'm going to turn down the private dinner with Ben and Woods.
That's messed up.
You don't get to do that. You got to do it
it's
all.
part of the package.
Part of the package.
Oh, I got to do it all? No,
Actually,
well, then I'll take.
You know what?
Then I'll take my name out. I'll take my name out.
I just heard from Ben Woods' agent. They're actually taking. They're not going to dinner with you, Chris.
Oh, they're saying we don't want to go to dinner with him.
Oh,
Makes
they
sense.
beat me to the punch.
Preemptive strike. Preemptive strike.
Number 5.
All right, former slugger Joey Gallo, whose last Major League Baseball game was over 418 days ago, is attempting a comeback as a pitcher. In March, the 32-year-old announced the switch, and 7 months later, he shared a 15-second video on X. The video shows the 6'5" Gallo throwing 3 pitches from a mound with a typical overhand arm slot and pronounced extension, Like, don't worry, guys. The sound of the pitches, because you can't see them hit the mitt, the sound of the pitches hitting the mitt was quite audible.
Good acoustics, huh?
Yeah, it was like, wow, that was the biggest pop I've ever heard. So, Chris, you're up first. Do you think that Joey Gallo ever throws a pitch at the big league level?
If anybody knows a thing or two about strikeouts, it's Joey Gallo.
He does.
I would think he might be somebody wanting to look into.
Yes.
I think once you get, I don't know. I mean, I have to see him pitch, but the thing to me is I think you have to get past the fact that it's, Joey Gallo, a former hitter. He's 32 years old. It's not ridiculous. And if he can throw, he's got big league stuff, which somebody else will determine, not me, then, why not invite him to spring training? I don't know what's the worst that can happen.
I guess you're right. What's the worst that can happen? But, Tony, do you think he ever throws a pitch at the big league level?
Never say never. How hard does he throw? I think all that matters.
The mitt pops.
Yeah, no, I know about the acoustics.
Well, wait a second. How did he not have video of the actual ball reaching home plate?
I think we know why, Chris. It's probably because it wasn't a good look.
Oh, is that what you came to the conclusion?
The only reason you don't put a full shot of you is because it doesn't look good.
Or you want people to leave them to their own imaginations. Because the reality,
that's crazy.
The reality is, it's not an X. I mean, he can probably get some teams out to come watch him throw.
I'm sure he could. Yeah,
his agent can make that happen.
Yeah.
So, this was probably more for his ex followers to kind of create a little buzz.
Oh,
you know how that works.
I didn't even think about the shameless promotion. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about the shameless promotion.
What are you saying? This is all a fugazi, Tony?
Not a fugazi.
No, he
but...
just it serves a better purpose of him not to give you, and maybe from his standpoint, not to give you all of it. Maybe it is.
I see.
Maybe it is
video.
because he's
Okay.
right. Maybe it is because he's not throwing that hard, or maybe he just wants to kind of drag this out a little bit further. Because I can't imagine that having him played at the big league level, there not being one team that'll at least take a look, send a scout to go see him throw.
I gotcha.
I
gotcha. I didn't even. I'm kind of mad at myself.
It's not like he's been out of baseball forever. Like he was just playing last
418
year.
days ago, Tommy.
Right. So, there's that.
All right, we got to pick it up a little bit. But Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield suffered a left shoulder sprain in last night's 34-7 drubbing to the Rams and did not play at all in the second half. The Bucs believe Mayfield suffered a sprained AC joint. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. One source told Schefter the Bucs are not ruling out Mayfield for this coming Sunday's game against the Cardinals, which is kind of crazy because he looked like he's in a lot of pain. Teddy Bridgewater is their backup. Okay, keep in mind, guys, the average backup salary in the NFL is around $2.9 million. It's a rough figure. The 49ers have had over the years some pretty darn good backup quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, now they have Mac Jones. How much, Tony, would you invest in a backup quarterback as an NFL GM?
I guess 2.9.
I mean, do you feel comfortable with Teddy Bridgewater as your backup quarterback if you're heading into the year?
I mean, clearly they did. They got him as a backup. I mean, listen, you have to, I can't imagine any NFL team signs a backup quarterback thinking he won't play at all. Like it seems like malpractice.
Yeah. You're right, but it happens all the time.
I mean, I don't know that it happens. I think that they think that this quarterback can actually do the job. And then they find out, oh, no, he can't.
Oh, no, he can't.
But I'm not sure if Teddy hasn't played since when?
He was a coach last year.
I understand that. When's the last time he played? 2 years, 3 years?
I don't
And
know.
he didn't do too well then. The Dolphins had him for a minute. Skraby, you're hitting on something here which is absolutely 100% correct. Every team needs a good backup quarterback. The problem is there aren't enough.
That's right.
There just aren't. And
there's barely enough that can start.
Right. When you see Baker Mayfield go out of the game, and then you see Teddy Bridgewater come in, and all of a sudden you're saying, wow, the Buccaneers can't even gain a yard now. It reminds you. I mean, I'm not saying
they were
the same
able to
would
gain
happen.
a yard before, to be fair. They had a tough
But you know what I mean? I mean, Teddy Bridgewater was no threat at all. And I look at the Rams. I mean, Stafford never even came out of the game, even with a 30-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
And they have Jimmy Garoppolo. They could have got him a couple of snaps, but they didn't even put him in for that. What these guys do at the highest level of NFL quarterbacking is so good. And we need to be reminded of that. And we are every time a backup comes into a game. I mean, the Dolphins have Zach Wilson. They don't ever want him to play. You know,
do you know who the backup for Jacoby Brissett is? Yesterday, I heard this name, and it floored me because this is not a name of an NFL quarterback. Keaton Slovis is the backup quarterback.
I never heard of Keaton.
He went to USC. So,
oh, wait, I do remember Keaton Slovis.
But it's like, do we want Keaton Slovis running our offense?
No, but he's your backup, so you don't have a choice.
I guess you're right.
This is why quarterbacks at the top level can command whatever amount of money they want.
That's right. That's right.
There's only about
even someone
15 of them
that gets as much flack as Kirk Cousins because
right.
there just aren't that many good quarterbacks out there.
I mean, Tua is the worst quarterback in the world until you look at any backup quarterback. Right. Then you're like, wait, Tua's pretty good.
Is Tua worth $51 million to you?
No, of course not.
No, he says.
Number 3.
J.J. McCarthy's. We're going to go to another quarterback that's struggling right now. J.J. McCarthy's abysmal. That was from the Minnesota article that I found, so I had to leave it in there. His abysmal 6 starts have created a severe crisis in Minnesota, potentially forcing the Vikings to draft a quarterback in the first round of this upcoming draft. They traded up for McCarthy to get him at 10th overall in the 2024 draft. Then he got hurt, and this is the first year he's actually played. They expected him to be their franchise quarterback. While it's still early, this Minnesota newspaper said that his poor play mirrors Josh Rosen's situation.
Wow.
After the Cardinals took him 10th overall in 2018.
Oh, have the mighty have fallen. I can't wait to talk about this one.
Are you having, if you're KOC or Kevin O'Connell, are you having buyer's remorse on J.J. McCarthy?
First of all, he had a concussion yesterday, and he's in protocol now.
He did.
I believe that might have had something to do with his play. Secondly, no quarterback can win the game if no one blocks for him, and he was sacked 5 or 6 times. I think J.J. McCarthy has something. I do. I'm not giving up on this guy yet. I think Kevin O'Connell's smart enough to know that. He's going through pretty normal quarterback growing pains. Caleb Williams wasn't a whole lot better last year than J.J. McCarthy's been this year.
Facts.
And now Caleb Williams is looking like he's, pulling together. I think that's an overreaction that's coming from some, writer that's trying to get clicks, honestly. I think the Vikings are fine with where they are. They'd like him to be further along, but that's my thing.
A resident Vikings person, M. McKee's husband, is a big Minnesota fan. Said their offensive line hasn't been healthy all season. But Tony, are you having buyer's remorse if you're KOC?
No, I'm not. If I'm KOC, and shame on all these people now wanting to compare my man to Josh Rosen. You know what I'm saying? That
was quite a wild jump.
That's so low. And it wasn't week 5 we was talking about. Oh, this is why Kevin made the decision he made to go with this quarterback. All of a sudden, now this dude is Josh Rosen. I can't get with it. Like, nah. It's just it's. I get it. People just get up in arms when their squad is losing. But let's try to find some middle ground here. I think it should be expected that after not playing last year in his rookie season, starting off this season hurt, and then, going through what is really his rookie season. Not everybody is going to be Patrick Mahomes. You sit out a year, you step into a perfectly well-run machine, and it goes flawlessly. That's not what this is for J.J. McCarthy. As it was pointed out, offensive line's been hurt all year, and he hasn't been healthy all season. So I think it's a little patience is what is needed for J.J. McCarthy, and I'm sure Kevin O'Connell already knew all that.
Yeah.
And was approaching it as such.
I'm sure he was.
Number 2.
Kicker, do you guys hear this? Justin Tucker.
I did see this.
He was reinstated 13 days after a 10-game suspension under the personal conduct policy, and he finally has a trial invitation. NFL media reports the Saints have invited him to a kicker tryout, which Cade York will also attend. Now, Tucker, you may remember, was accused of misconduct by multiple women during massage therapy sessions, which he has denied. He was never criminally charged or civilly sued. The league investigated a Baltimore Banner report from earlier this year, and then he ended up being cut by the Ravens in May. He accepted the suspension without a full hearing or appeal.
Timeout. So you said he wasn't actually sued
civilly? No.
And there was
and there's no criminal charges for this.
What happened?
He got suspended by the NFL. Nothing happened.
No, but what happened to all the people that claimed he did all this stuff?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Oh no.
It sounds like
did he do something?
He didn't
or did
fight back at all on these accusations.
They all went away though. Did they not? I mean, my question is, was it discovered that it didn't happen or what?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. The NFL found something to give him a 10-game suspension.
Okay.
Tony, you're up.
Yes.
Why bring in this bad publicity?
It's a good question. Don't know. I can't imagine it going quietly.
No.
I mean, it's not like the New Orleans Saints got a whole lot going on.
They're not going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, if there was a place for a guy like that to land, that might be the place.
Like a nondescript losing team.
A team that is not at the forefront because they're not winning.
Yeah. Bourbon Street's only known for drinking, not massage parlors. He'll be fine down there.
Oh, my gosh. Chris with the joke.
Sorry. I can't. Anyway, go ahead, guys.
I don't know why you would. Listen. I guess he served his 10 games and, I guess he served what it's hard for me to really speak on this because unlike Deshaun Watson, where there was civil suits and almost criminal charges, this kind of happened and we just kind of went with it and then it just kind of disappeared. And so I'm reluctant to speak on it too much because I haven't done enough research on what happened with the actual accusations that went down.
Yeah. Chris, what do you have to say? Because we still got a Chip Kelly question.
All right, I'll let it go quick. I'll just stick with what I said, but Justin Tucker's situation grosses me out, and I don't want it touching my organization. I'll let someone else be the team that gives him another chance. Honestly, that's my thing. I don't want to.
I think that's fair.
Yep. Number
1. Chip Kelly, highest paid offensive coordinator in football, is now done. He is no longer the highest paid offensive coordinator. Well, he still is. He just doesn't have a job anymore because the Raiders fired him. I'm not even going to talk about him because many of the Raiders fans think that it's someone else that's at fault for this. Pete Carroll's son. Pete Carroll's son. What? Coaches the offensive line. The Browns had 10 sacks yesterday during that game. They've been sacked the second most times in football this year. Many people think might be the son that's not very good at coaching. So why get rid of Chip Kelly and not a guy who's given up second most sacks in football as a coach? Chris. Did you hear me?
Is it my turn to talk?
Yes.
I'm sorry. My thing checked out for a second. All I can say is I hate Chip Kelly and he's ruined the
I knew that was
forever.
I knew that was
That's all I got.
I'll give you my answer on the other side.
Okay. Tony's answer on the other side. Daily Gambit. Yeah. Be back soon.
So last night the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave. You know,
TJ
the bus is kind of, she stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
I think it does equal that, Skraby.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Skraby. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And she's like looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little...
That's stressful.
Well, it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for... okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m., and Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lucida.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody.
Show. Reminder. 49ers. Panthers.
There you go.
I almost could remember. Yes. I get to hear it every time I say Panthers.
Honestly, when you
Niners.
walk into the room, when you walk into the room and Tony's watching a game, you ask him, "Hey, who's playing?" He looks at you. I don't look. Hang on. Look at the score thing. Oh yeah.
Listen, neither of these are my teams. I don't need to know other than letting everybody else know.
Yeah, you need to know. You need to know.
No, I don't need to know, really.
CMC facing his former team.
Yeah, no one cares.
There you go.
They're gonna built raise the Panthers, hopefully.
By the way,
I don't know.
By the way, who did? Talk about stupid trades. What did the Panthers get? Like, who's starring for them right now?
That's a great question.
Let me see.
I think it had to be picks, right?
I love how teams do this. They get all these picks. They get this, that, and the other.
We need to find out. Who
Christian
those picks
McCaffrey's going to the Super Bowl every year, and what are the Panthers doing?
All right, give me a second too. Tony, you have to answer your question or your
question number one.
Yeah,
what was the question
thoughts on Chip Kelly and why doesn't Pete Carroll fire his son, who's the worst offensive line coach in football?
I know no one but
why doesn't he fire his son?
I know no one but you went and found out that his son was on the staff in the first place. The dude who I don't know if you have you watched the Raiders at all this year?
Yeah, they're really bad.
Their offense sucks. This was the same guy that I don't know if you can remember Shady McCoy. He traded him, had Deshaun Jackson traded from that Philly team. He comes in. What's the first thing he does? He tells Genty, you can't stand like that in the backfield. You're going to have to get like a regular running back. And all that's happened since then.
Dummy.
Yeah, all that's happened since then is they have proceeded to win 2 games, and their offense has looked atrocious. He's made Geno Smith now look like he was as a New York Jet way back in the day. Genty is not living up to the kind of hype that he's had, and it's all on Chip Kelly's watch. And yes, the offensive line, I watched, it felt like my man Myles Garrett was literally in the backfield every snap. Even if they handed it off, he was in the backfield touching the running back. And so, yes, it's Chip Kelly's fault. I feel the same way Chris does. I felt like that for a long time. Talk about somebody who has lost his touch. Like, he didn't after maybe the first year in Philadelphia or the second year in Philadelphia, he has not looked close to the same, has not put nearly close to the same type of offense that we saw in Oregon. Not even close.
I'm still mad at the 49ers for bringing him in as a head coach for a year. Still mad about that. Can
I just touch on what
I'm looking at the picks?
Go ahead, finish that
real
up.
quick. The picks that the 49ers sent, they sent where did it go?
Wow.
Here it is. They sent a second, third, and fourth round picks in 2023, and then a fifth rounder in 2025.
Do we know what that turned into?
Yes, it turned into Darnell.
They didn't
Washington.
get one number 1 pick.
They
didn't get a single number 1 pick.
No, they didn't.
Oh my God!
So Darnell Washington, who else? Don't know who that
Nick
is.
Herbig. He's decent. And then they traded with Jacksonville for something else.
Man.
So
nothing to the equivalent of Mr.
Christian
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
One of the best players in the league. I wanted to one thing before we do the Daily Gambit that Tony said about Chip Kelly. This isn't even on my hatred of Chip Kelly. This is on my hatred of anybody who coaches. And I don't care if you're a high school coach or a little league coach or wherever. Anybody that coaches with a my way or the highway mentality is not a good coach. I'm sorry. That doesn't work anymore. Tony, how many times have we asked a Padre pitcher what makes Ruben Niebla successful?
Yep.
And every time they say, you know what? He finds out what you're good at and he works with you. He doesn't tell you what to do. He listens to what makes you comfortable and then he helps improve on it. Here's Genty, who's almost a Heisman Trophy winning running back, who's comfortable doing it one way or the other. And his coach's first thing to him is to change that and tear that down.
Right.
It never works that way. And if you're a coach, I'm serious, if you're a high school coach, pitching coach, pony league, don't tell your kids how to do it. Listen to them and work with them and use those parameters to help them improve.
You guys,
it's such a better way to coach.
You guys have seen Luke Kuechly and Greg Olson in the youth thing that they coach. They both talk about that a lot, that it's not about telling them what I know or making them do it how I think it should be done. It's about finding out what they do best and then trying to enhance that and teach them from that.
Yeah.
And I just, it's crazy that at that level that you would feel like you got to tell a guy, nah, you're not doing that. I don't care how much success you had where you came from.
And then
and then he gets off to a rough start and you're like, all right, you can go back to it. Like what? Like, no.
What about what does Aston Genty think when Chip Kelly comes walking up to him and is like, hey, you're doing it wrong?
Like this old man is over here trying to tell me what to do again.
Like, I just came off of one of the best seasons in college football, and you're telling me
you're not even
going to
let me run a few times and then see that it doesn't work first before you tell me to change it?
I still think they should fire Pete
By
Carroll's
the way,
son,
this
though,
is just a small piece of, I'm sure, what happened before Pete Carroll had to be like, listen, man, it's either going to be you or me, and damn sure ain't going to be me. So you got to go.
Damn sure ain't going to be my son either.
Listen, you want I'm almost mad at a Nepo baby conversation about this.
I'm just mad at Pete Carroll for even hiring this guy in the first place. I'm surprised Pete Carroll made such a mistake.
Maybe he felt like it was the one dude that was beating his behind at USC all the time.
Chip Kelly.
That maybe he could.
There you go.
He could reunite it, but it did not work.
Chip Kelly is good at college offense. Stay there. He won a national championship.
He's not good at college offense anymore because UCLA, I don't recall being a juggernaut.
But he won a national championship last year with Ohio State. As the offensive coordinator, and then he left a good deal to go back to the NFL.
I forgot he was even at Ohio State.
Yeah,
I could have won the national championship as offensive coordinator with that team. Come on.
Oh, I don't know.
They literally have like 3 wide receivers all like doing, the best in NFL right now.
Yeah,
Jackson Smith and Jigba couldn't even make the Ohio State roster when he was there.
Is that true?
I mean, that's how. Pretty much, he was third string, and then 2 guys got hurt, and so he got a chance to play in that Rose Bowl.
That's right. They sat out. They sat out of that game. I think one sat out.
Oh, they sat out.
It was Wilson, I think, sat out of that game.
Garrett Wilson.
Sat out. Another guy was hurt, and that's how he got pretty much going.
Can't stand that guy.
Yeah.
We can't go to the Daily Gambit because we have Andrew Wiebe on the other side, so we're gonna have to skip that. So let's real quick talk about.
Well, let's talk about a couple of.
What do you got, Chris? What do you want to talk about?
That's fine. Shadur's fine. No, we can talk about it. We're going to do the good, bad.
Ironically, also against the Raiders as well. Ironically.
Yeah, I thought Shadur played really well.
First thing was Dion was there. That was important.
Yes.
We talked about that last week, and he was there. And secondly, he did okay, right? I mean, he made a couple of silly throws, but
that's expected.
Right? When you throw on the run 65 yards and put it on the guy like he did on that one play.
Yeah,
those are the kind of things that show people what you can do.
That was a big arm.
I was glad for that.
I was happy.
I'm not ready to.
I was happy for that too, and I think he still has some work to do. But I'm sorry, I don't think the Browns did him any favors in how that game plan was. It was like run the ball on 1st and 2nd down, you're 3rd and long,
and then try to make it on 3rd down.
Yeah, it just he had 20 attempts, 11 for 20, a little bit over 200 yards. But I didn't think that they really gave him much of a chance. Maybe that was by design. But it seemed like the plays that he ended up making were all like, got to scramble, except for the touchdown pass he threw, which turned out to be the one touchdown he had. First and 2nd down running, and then 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10.
Such a hard life living that way.
Figure it out. So, but good for him,
let a young quarterback throw on 1st down when they're not looking for it as much.
Right. I think all in all,
and he's going to start this Sunday, even though Dylan Gabriel has been cleared.
All in all, just watching the Browns team as he kind of did his thing, they seemed like they were into it. So he's bought himself another week for sure.
Yeah. Have you talked to Dave Marcus yet today, Tony? Has he texted you?
Oh, because the Cowboys came back to beat the Eagles.
Yes.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Because we basically buried them even after they won last week.
We did. And listen,
And
I
then-
still believe.
Now
still,
people are going to be like,
I still believe with every ounce of my being that when it really, really counts, they will
We'll
show
see.
up. Yes, they will be themselves for sure.
By the way, the officials in the Chiefs-Colts game yesterday erroneously took away a Chiefs touchdown, Skraby. I want that on the record.
I'm sorry?
I'm just saying.
The tide
I
is
want
turning.
it on the record.
They don't have
There
enough
was a
wins
play.
to influence referees no more. Now they're getting the calls against them.
They have to work uphill now to win that football game.
When
with the officials, now they're seeing how the other half lived. Get a touchdown there. Every time you score a touchdown against the Chiefs, you have to look for the flag. Well, now the Chiefs have to look for the flag.
Did you see that the referee who left the game on Thursday night, nothing was wrong with him?
He just was like, I'm out.
I thought he had a torn Achilles.
No.
Or a bad Achilles.
It turned out
Maybe
it
a
was
bad Achilles, but it turns out there was no rupture of his Achilles tendon. So I think it was just an old man injury.
So he should have played through it?
I don't know that
He couldn't even walk.
Skraby wanted to have the Nepo baby conversation. Now somebody's not working on their dime right now. He's just taking free money. That's his new case.
They say he could come back this season.
If you pulled your hammy while you were doing a basketball game, you couldn't finish the game, but you might be able to ref in another week. Put a little ice on it and stretch it out.
Skraby is the
pull
toughest
it right
critic.
there. You're done.
How did this turn on me? I didn't say anything about
because you're ripping the guy.
You
tried to rip him.
You're saying that he was walked off with a fake injury, basically.
I didn't say it was a fake injury.
Did
I
you
said
see
that
nothing
he
was
came
wrong
off the
with
field
him?
and his Achilles was intact.
You insinuated that he was getting off of work without doing any work.
That's not what I meant for
Okay,
him.
I'm sorry. What did you mean then? You said, did you see that he wasn't actually hurt?
Yeah, it stopped the game. It was
guys like get hurt and like they stop the game and then they come back in like 2 plays later.
I was just annoyed because I thought something serious happened and I was false.
Was this during the Niner game?
No, this was during that Thursday night football game between the Bills and the Texans.
Skraby, I don't know about
Thursday
you sometimes,
night
man.
football.
I really don't. All right, let's get to break.
Can't wait for the soccer match.
Yes, we get into some SDFC when we return. More Gwynn and Chris.
The all-new.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife Audrey on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melancons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to, being the manager of Padres with the team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing candidates, and then however long later, what was the timeline in between you interviewing guys or candidates and then all of a sudden having your name in the hat?
Yeah. Man, just to think about what my mind was thinking about 3 weeks ago is completely different than what it is now. Obviously I'm part of the organization and wanted to find the best manager for the Padres, and so I was in on some Zoom calls to start that process. And then we and I were just having conversations about who we thought were great candidates and how we ranked them. And we got done talking about it. And he goes, well, I think I got you at the top of the list. And
he just dropped that on you.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me. And, it's a little bit of a shock, when someone, like AJ believes in you that much. And it pushed Audrey and I to actually think about this. And, is this something that we would like to pursue? If we got that much belief from the organization, we've got to make an informed decision. Yeah. And so then after that, we spent a lot of time, like I said, praying and fasting and, and thinking about this and how trying to map out the schedule and work it out with our family. And once we came to the conclusion we're taking everybody with us, then we felt pretty good about it. And we're able to say, if you're willing to offer the job to us, we'll say yes.
13 years as a reliever. You spent 6 here as a Padre. How has that shaped your viewpoint and how the type of manager you'll be?
Yeah, I think one quality I have is a little bit of loyalty, and I was lucky in my career. I only really played for 2 organizations. I played 1 year with the Guardians in the middle, but not in the big leagues. But most of my career started with Washington, and then it ended with San Diego, and I feel very connected to this organization. I feel like it is family. They've treated me like family. And so, being a part of this and being in this role is something that's very exciting, and I'm up for the challenge.
Now, you had to get it out the mud, so to speak, right? You weren't a high round draft pick. You're a guy who had to kind of grind. That's the word we often use around this game. How is that, or what kind of lessons from those type of situations are you going to be able to take into your managerial role?
Yeah, maybe it's like people doubting you a little bit or not saying you're quite good enough. And there's probably some people thinking that as me as the manager. But it's also like exciting to prove people like who I really am and what I stand for, and maybe do it a little bit different than everybody expects. But those challenges as a player, they were so enjoyable.
Yeah.
So you've done it before. It's like fun to try to get the most out of your talent. And as soon as I took this job, like that feeling of what I was as a player, like when's my next workout, when's my next throwing session, that constant thought, that feeling, that little nervousness, that little excitement came back like right away. And it was like, I definitely missed that. Now, did I enjoy the 2 years in between? Yeah, I did. I got a lot, my handicap went down and all that kind of stuff. But, this challenge has gotten that excitement back, that feeling back of I'm in the hunt with the boys, and I'm ready to grind it out and make something special happen.
Now, you've been representing the Friar Faithful for a little bit here. Now you're out in the forefront. You mentioned family quite a bit. How important was it to get your wife, Audrey, on board with this? How long did it take you to get her in this direction?
It took a while. It's probably taken years, but I don't know. We were on the same page for a long time. For a long time we thought there's no way this is possible, with our family and be able to move them across country and take them out of school and all that kind of stuff. But we talked to enough people. We got to thank the Melansons. They kind of gave us the blueprint of how they've moved their kids from Florida to Arizona to San Diego, and we're going to follow that plan. And once we decided that, it was like, I talked about it a little. There was some peace that came over both of us to be able to say yes to this decision, because we knew it's an opportunity of a lifetime. Hard to say no to being the manager of Padres with a team like we've got.
Obviously, when you decided to retire in the 23, family's probably at the forefront of your mind. You've missed a lot of time with your kids and your wife. And now to fast forward to this point here, you're sitting in meetings at this point, interviewing.
All right, welcome back, Gwynn and Chris. Live music coming your way from outside my hotel room here at the Bahamas. By the way, this isn't necessarily Bahama music, is it? But you know what I mean. It kind of has that flavor.
We need more steel drums.
It definitely has that flavor, being in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I feel that flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
We have we got a big match tonight with SDFC in Minnesota, and we have our guest Andrew Wiebe coming on. Is he calling us, Skraby, or are you calling him?
I'm calling him right now, actually.
Okay. So real quick, Tony, I told everybody here I would tell this story while he's calling. Now I have to save it because it'll take longer than it takes for him to call. Yeah, it won't get too long. I do want to remind everybody though that our Gwynn and Chris overtime will be up at the end of the show today, 4:00. You can listen. A lot of baseball talk in our overtime today. The Rockies have named their new manager, but it's their old manager. And the Pirates and the Marlins, really? Could they be competing for supremacy in the National League? We'll discuss that in our overtime. Also, a pretty good chat about the greatest coach in the history of college football, Lane Kiffin.
Lane is always, no matter what subject matter
He's
we're on,
unbelievable.
Lane Kiffin can catch a stray from Chris from any angle.
He can. He should teach a course in how to be mediocre at what you do and get everybody to think you're great. Because that is a gift that he has.
Mediocre.
All right, we got to get to.
Wow.
We got to get to.
Chris
Sorry
is the
about that. That was a
weirdest
good. That was
people
a,
in this book.
that was a good line right there, but we don't have time to discuss it. Andrew Wiebe, MLS, Apple TV. Tonight is the night. SDFC, Minnesota FC. Andrew, thanks for the time. How are you? How fired up are you?
I'm pretty good, guys. I'm pulling on the suit tonight, my kit, so to speak. I'm sorry to disrupt your rhythm here. It sounds like you got something going on that you got to come to me, but the good thing is I don't think anything is going to disrupt San Diego's rhythm tonight. They're going to be the team with the ball. They're going to be the team that exerts their game plan on the game. Now, can they execute better than Minnesota? That's the question that stands between them and a conference final matchup with the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Now, we've had, obviously, all of the teams have had to kind of deal with the break for the international schedule that popped up. But typically speaking, is there rust when you've been away from each other that long, or does it just kind of fit in seamlessly because you guys, the teams have been playing with each other for so long at this point?
I don't think you're going to see rust in terms of the way Mikey Barrett and this team wants to play or the relationships on the field. I think the one place where you can see rust, and I'm not saying we're going to see it tonight, but you can, is just from the emotional and physical toll that it takes to, in some cases, swap continents or, swap 7-8 time zones to go play your soccer in hugely important games. I mean, remember that, guys like, let's say, the Minnesota side, Carlos Harvey was playing for his life with Panama to get into the World Cup. Anders Dreyer was doing the same thing with Denmark. So there's a natural exertion there, emotionally, physically, that comes with the travel, with the international games that they play. But in talking to both coaches, and look, I know it's San Diego radio, so let's focus on San Diego. The word I'm getting is that everybody's back in the group. Everybody's had time to sort of take a deep breath, to settle, to get back into the swing of things. In many ways, these two managers, these two clubs, and us as just people who want to watch a great game, we're fortunate that this particular game is played on a Monday night because it just gave an additional 2 days compared to, for instance, Vancouver and LA for players to arrive, to settle, to get their feet under them. So if you're asking me whether or not I think there will be rust, I would tell you no. I don't think we're going to see any signs of that tonight.
I think we're going to have an incredible match. Andrew Wiebe is with us. He'll be on the sidelines, which is a place a lot of us would like to be tonight, Andrew. Tell me a little bit about Minnesota's. I know they're a different style. I know that SDFC dominated in possession and dominated in shot attempts and dominated in everything the last time they played, yet they were losing 3-0 until they scored a late goal there to get on the scoreboard. I mean, basically they got crushed by Minnesota. So does SDFC try something different, or do they just keep going with it? And why does Minnesota seem to have so much success counterbalancing San Diego?
Well, listen, I don't think San Diego does anything different. This DNA is really clear. And part of the DNA is not just the way they play, but the idea from Mikey and from Tyler Heaps and from everybody in this squad that they're not going to deviate. Like, this is who they are. It's worked tremendously well. You stick with what brought you, and it gets you to this point on the brink of the conference finals. But what I would tell you guys is the old phrase, style makes fight, really applies to this particular matchup. Because on one side, San Diego wants the ball. They want to dominate games with the ball. On the other side, Minnesota are like, cool, you go ahead and do that. That's not how we operate. We don't want to be there. We're going to sit back a little bit more and wait for our 3 or 4 opportunities a game, particularly on the road, to throw haymakers. So if you're thinking about this as a boxing match, on San Diego's side, you have more of a puncher, more of a guy who's going to be in there throwing jabs, really just, getting hands in there. Whereas Minnesota are going to be parrying blows. They're going to be stepping back. They're going to be locking things up. They're going to try to get into the body and slow the fight down. And they're going to look for 3 or 4 chances in the fight, the match in this case, to throw the haymaker, to hit you with the uppercut, to go over the top when you expose yourself and to give themselves the lead. So Minnesota's style is unabashedly who they are. It's just the polar opposite of San Diego. They want to sit back, hit on the counter. Their set pieces are tremendous. Beware tonight. And it's not just free kicks or corner kicks for the Loons. It's throw-ins. Michael Boxall will get up there and he'll chuck one into the box, and then it's all about who has more heart, who has more desire, who sniffs it out better to win the second ball. in many ways, I think this is the perfect matchup, guys. And that game in San Diego earlier in September, well, it was the perfect sort of iteration of events from Minnesota. If you remember the details of that game, San Diego pummeled the Loons in the first half. I mean, just blew their doors off. But they couldn't land that knockout punch because Dane St. Clair, the goalkeeper for the Loons, stood on his head. So to me, tonight, a huge key for Minnesota. Yes, hit on the counter. Yes, set piece. But Dane St. Clair is going to have to be on God level, in my opinion, for them to get through.
Andrew Wiebe joins us, sideline reporter, in tonight's matchup with SDFC and Minnesota taking on one another. And Andrew, from your perch, as you watch this game from the sideline, and you bring up the kind of the emotional factor for these guys who played internationally and are coming, how does that present itself on the field? Like, what are we looking for in terms of whether that emotion is tough to reach to the level that it needs to in order to play at your best?
First 15 minutes, guys. I know it's cliche. I know it is. But if you look back at that Minnesota game against Seattle, the one that got them here, they got their doors blown off in the first 15 minutes. They weren't ready. They haven't been ready. And Eric Ramsey, in talking to him this week, has said, listen, if we're not ready against San Diego, they're going to come out and crush us. And we saw that at home against Portland, right?
Yeah.
Like, San Diego comes out, guns blazing, foot on the pedal. They're going to push to try to get a lead, because when San Diego get a lead, the game is completely on their terms. The moment you try to push out and you expose yourself in behind, whoop, there goes Anders Dreyer. Whoop, now it's 4-0. So that first 15 minutes is going to be critical, and I've watched this entire season from the sideline, guys. I can tell you definitively, without a doubt, and it's understandable, the biggest games of the year, the biggest stakes of the year, there's no misunderstanding what's on the line. These playoff games have just felt different, been different. They're more physical. There's more trash talk. There's more intensity from the sideline, from the coaches. There's more focus. You can just feel it on the field. It's like a kind of an undercurrent, a buzz of energy going throughout. So do not be surprised those first 15 minutes when San Diego come out and just go at them, and Minnesota are looking to survive. I think that's what the first 15 minutes is going to look like. And if Minnesota can get out without allowing a goal, that's going to change the match. It's going to put the pressure on San Diego, and it's going to give the Loons an opportunity to say, okay, we can match what you're bringing. Now we just got to find our 1-2 moments. And if we do, we think we can walk out of here.
Andrew Wiebe's got the game tonight. We're all fired up for it. I got one last quick thing before we let you roll, Andrew, and then we'll look forward to watching tonight. I'm not even in town, so I'm totally looking forward to being able to watch, being on the road here. Messi and Miami, they win 4-0 yesterday. Is this like now they got one more to get to the final, but how crucial for the MLS that he get to the final game? Does it mean that much?
I mean, yeah, everybody knows Messi. Everybody understands his greatness. I would flip it, actually, guys, and I would say, forget what it means to Major League Soccer. That part is pretty clear. Lionel Messi's telling you what it means to him right now. Remember, this is a team that since Leagues Cup when he arrived in 2023, haven't won anything but a supporter shield. And listen, supporter shield, nothing to sneeze at, but that is not why Lionel Messi came to Major League Soccer. That was not at the top of the vision board for Lionel Messi with Inter Miami. It was to come and do what legends do, what he has done for his entire career. That's win the big one. And the big one is MLS Cup. So I think it's the last 7 games, guys. It's 11 goals and 11 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Like, there are players, best 11 players in this league's history that have not hit 11 and 11 from the number 10 position. He is dominating everyone. To me, it feels like Lionel Messi is on a mission, and that mission is to blow the doors off the rest of the league and show Major League Soccer and the world that he's back in the place where he not only deserves to be, but expects to be. And oh, by the way, now with every other team above them, the Union, Cincinnati, out of the playoffs in terms of regular season points, the Cup goes through Fort Lauderdale and Chase Stadium. They will play the Eastern Conference Final at home, and if they beat New York City, which I fully expect them to do, they will play MLS Cup at home as well. If you want to win MLS Cup, and I'm talking straight at you, San Diego, you got to go through the GOAT to do it, and it ain't going to be easy, and it starts tonight.
Yowzas.
I love it. I love the challenge, Andrew. Let me have a soccer ball and see what I can do. I don't know. Hey, thanks for the time. Have fun tonight, man. We'll be watching and enjoying your coverage, man. Good luck tonight. Have a good call.
Hey, appreciate it, boys. MLS Season Pass on Apple TV is the spot. Pre-game show starts at 30 minutes before game time. I'll see you then.
Boom.
Yep, we'll be there. Andrew Wiebe right there, MLS tonight. I love how he just said that,
Man.
Tony, though. Come on, you got that's the challenge you want. You want to win tonight. You want to beat Vancouver at home. Everybody celebrates. It's crazy. And then you go down to Messi's house and take the title from him.
And then you go
That
down to
would be the
Messi's
ultimate.
house and you clean it up.
Stop it, Skraby.
That was a
Such
good
a
one.
buzz
And you
kill.
clean it up.
Messy, clean.
Terrible one. You're such a buzz
cornball.
killer. Buzz killer. All right.
Nothing?
Grit, back to American football when we come back. Some good, bad, ugly. And a story that the San Diego State coaches begged me to tell about something I screwed up on at dinner the other night here.
Man,
in the
so
Man,
you,
this is a
it
bad
was a
trip
bad
for
trip,
you.
man. It was rough for you. You left your passport
yeah.
and you did something at dinner.
I this was unintentional, but I think you'll get a laugh out of it. So
I'm sure we will.
it's coming up on Gwynn and Chris.
Coming up
us a call within the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize. Robert Bachman of San Diego qualifies for 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest-fan. Robert Bachman, your time starts now.
Tick, 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 tick.
Tick, 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 tick. I like Andrew Wiebe was doing his best of Chris Berman when he was like, "What?
Can I issue an apology?
What?
I want to issue an apology to you.
To me?
Yes, you. It still wasn't a very good joke at all, but I gave you some credit. I did not pick up what you were putting down with the whole Messi and cleaning up his room.
Thank you.
It completely went over my head.
Thank you.
I guess a good joke is one that you don't have to explain as you had to with that, but
I did.
Nonetheless, I still missed it when you said it, and so there's that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Chris, anything to say?
It was better once you explained to us that the word Messi can
Right.
go both ways.
I honestly
It was a
can't believe
double
you didn't-
entendre
I
right
can't believe you guys didn't get that.
It just went clean over
We
my
didn't.
head, man, for real.
You
And
missed it by that much.
If Chris didn't say anything to you in the break, I would have walked away and never thought about how stupid that joke was again. And now I'm having second thoughts. It was semi-stupid.
Yeah, I'll give you a little credit for it. A little credit is due.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get to the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I promised the coaches that I would tell this story. It's not an all-timer, I don't think, but they think it's hilarious, especially our assistant head coach, Kelly Lewis. So this is for you, Kelly. She wanted me to tell the story. We sat, it's Kelly and I and about 6 or 7 others at a circular table in the room where we eat lunch here at the hotel. And yesterday, Tony, along the wall, they had the setup there, and they have those little stands with a little piece of paper that says what each item is, turkey or fried potato, whatever it is. So I came across a bowl of some stuff.
Yeah.
That it looked I will say it looked a little wonky, and I think stuff is a good description for it.
Is it poi?
But no, it looked kind of like some sort of salad, and maybe like a potato salad. But what it said was shredded chicken.
Oh,
and okay, I know that doesn't sound good. And remember, we're in the Bahamas, so for them, maybe shredded chicken is just something different.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe it was like chicken salad. So there was nothing else up there that I wanted. So I grabbed 2 pieces of bread. I took some of the stuff and I dumped it in my bread. I put some lettuce on there, some tomato, a little onion, piled it up, went back, sat down, took a bite of my sandwich, thinking it was a chicken salad sandwich, and it was horrible. And that's because it was Bahamian potato salad. And I don't know that you don't have a potato salad sandwich. So it was so bad. I don't want to gross anybody out, but I didn't swallow it all. I put it on the plate. I stubbed it off to the side. It was really bad. And I don't know, about 5 minutes later, our athletic trainer, Queenie Soriano, said, "Chris, what happened to your sandwich there?" And I said, "Well, I realized I made a potato salad sandwich." And for some reason, they think that's the funniest thing I've ever done. I don't know. But there you go. I thought I was getting chicken salad, and I didn't. I got potato salad, and
I don't think this is that crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy either, but I do recognize the type of disappointment you have when you think you are biting into something that is one thing.
It is not.
And
Right.
it's not. It's one of the more like disappointing things that can happen to you in a day.
Yeah. I was pretty excited for my
Especially
chicken
if you're
salad.
hungry.
I thought I'd really discovered something.
It sounded like you were hungry
Yeah.
too, because you made your plates, you went and did something else, and I'm
Oh,
sure,
yeah, I
I'm
set
sure
it
the whole
all up.
time you were thinking of, when you were doing the second thing, you were thinking how good this shredded chicken was going to taste when you sat down.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't taste good
I
at
feel
all.
you on this
It was a shocking bite to come up with, and it wasn't even good potato salad. I mean, think of like the worst potato salad you ever had.
Did it
That's
have?
what it was.
Did
so.
it have raisins in it?
I didn't get that far. It just I couldn't tell you. I mean, I should have known from the beginning. I should have known from the beginning, Tony, because when I looked at it, I didn't know what it is. Like when you look at a food and you don't know what it is,
that's a problem.
You shouldn't eat it, right?
Yeah,
right?
never.
You should just not eat that.
Never picking.
Yeah.
If you have to question, man, I think it's chicken.
Yeah, never.
It says it's chicken. The sign, there was a little sign there that said it was chicken.
The only
you can't do it.
The only buffet I liked is no longer with us, and that's Soup Plantation. That's the only buffet.
Oh, my kids! You know what is the other name for Soup Plantation? Tomato.
Yeah, sweet tomato.
Sweet tomato. The kids.
Yeah, that's what they call it everywhere else.
My kids grew up on. My wife was a big fan of Soup Plantation.
Me too.
I wasn't that big a fan,
too.
but my wife raised our kids on it, and so recently they went to a sweet potato, which was like one left in Arizona still. They're out there for soccer, so they got to eat there again. They raved about it.
I got to go back out there next time I'm in spring training. We're coming for you, sweet
I didn't
tomatoes.
even know there was one. Yeah, sweet tomatoes and Soup Plantation are the same, but I loved it. I don't know why people haven't brought it back. I mean, the COVID thing is long behind us.
That
now,
whole
so.
buffet dining thing is not looked at the same after COVID. It seems
but you would go, wouldn't you?
My family would go. I'd still complain about going like I did when it was here the first time.
I literally saw a guy that now when you go.
I will say the soup selection.
I mean, it is called Soup Plantation.
Nothing exceeds that.
You got if you have
awesome.
Soup Plantation as your name, you have to have a great soup
The
selection.
New England clam chowder they had, and they had a
Tony, you and I would have fought over
too. That was
You and I would have fought over a bowl of clam chowder. Like it was the last
England
bowl, we would have had to go to
chowder.
You know, I went in Cincinnati. We used to drink and go to Golden Corral, and
oh, that's terrible.
I saw some really horrible stuff at Golden Corral. This guy was eating wings, waiting for his chicken to be ready.
Over the other food?
Yes.
Yeah. Only at Golden Corral. You know who was a quiet sponsor of Golden Corral? Did he use this voice all the time?
Oh, who?
Dion.
Dion, that's right.
And I was like, man, this dude sounds like Dion.
he?
Yes, he was on the commercials all the time. All right, I think we got to get to our GBU, don't we?
Yes, but we have a traffic report first, and then GBU.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Several problems in the North County. Collision on northbound 15 before Via Rancho Parkway. Those vehicles are over the right shoulder. Also got a stalled vehicle partially blocking the Nordall Road off-ramp, West 78. And southbound 5 coastline, very sluggish from the Aliso Creek Rest area. Up ahead, right before Mission Avenue, there's the culprit. Got a crash blocking the 3 left lanes. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go. Good, the bad, the ugly. Week 12 of the National Football League. We're here to get right to it. Let's start with the good. Rams 34, Tampa Bay 7. It wasn't good if you're Tampa Bay, but the LA Rams looked like Super Bowl champs last night. And Matthew Stafford.
I did throw
same
many
initials.
touchdowns last night. Thank you.
Yeah, same initials. Matthew Stafford, 3 more touchdown passes. He now has 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for the season. He has gone 27 touchdown passes in a row without an interception. That's an NFL record. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Say what you will about Drake May. Where's Matthew Stafford's name now in the MVP?
For real.
Seriously.
For real.
Can we get off of Drake May for a second and look at actually who is the MVP right now? And that's Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
I think Jonathan Taylor's still there. He didn't have a great game yesterday, but to me, those are the top 2 on my list. But everybody says Drake May. Who knows? All right, here we go. Yesterday's MVP in the NFL was not either of those guys. It was Jahmyr Gibbs. What a number he did on the Giants. a fantasy performance for the ages, guys. 60 points in fantasy football.
Yes.
And of course Skraby has him, and Skraby won by 1/10 of a point or something.
0.26.
You needed every bit of Jahmyr Gibbs to win. 63-yard touchdown run gave the Lions the lead in overtime, and then Adrian Hutchinson with the walk-off sack.
Can we do a real quick rate the radio call on this one after?
Okay.
There's the snap to Winston. He's back on 4th down, looking. Pressure. Get him. Winston. Get him. Boom. Ball game. Ball game. Ball game. Aiden Hutchinson comes up with a sack. Get out of here, boys. Go to the locker room. This game's over.
All right, 1 to 10, rate that radio call.
Can I hear it just one more time, real quick?
There's the snap to Winston.
I gotta hear the color guy again.
Pressure. Get him. Winston. Get him. Boom.
Boom.
Ball game. Ball game. Ball game.
Adrian Hutchinson. Adrian Hutchinson.
Get out of here, boys. Go to the locker room.
All right, 1 to 10, Tony, rate that radio call.
I forgot how we used to rate these football ones, man.
Yeah.
That is I
think you would have given this a 3 or a 4.
I was about to say, in football, I know that's the norm, but that was atrocious.
There's a lot of voices talking over each other.
He just was talking like he
That
wasn't.
sounded like 3 or 4 different guys, right?
He was talking like he wasn't mic'd up. Like he just had
Like
free
Adrian
reign.
Hutchinson, I knew it. I knew it. And then the other guy was like, boom.
Get on out of here, boys. Head to the locker room.
Boom. Get him. Boom.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2 on that.
Okay,
one.
Chris, what's your rating?
I'm going 22. That was the most enthusiastic call I've heard all year.
Okay.
It was for our purposes, it was terrible in a lot of ways, though. Detroit wins in overtime. They survive in overtime, 34-27. And the Lions beat the Giants. The Giants have lost a lot of miraculous losses this year, by the way.
They have.
Finishing out the good, sorry, I have to put Drake May in again. He did throw an early pick 6, but rallied the Patriots 26-20. And once again, Tony, they overcome the terrible coaching of Mike Vrabel to improve to 10-2.
This Vrabel guy, man, he's just overrated. Apparently.
What were they thinking?
Man.
What were they thinking?
Someone asked me over the weekend, what will it take for Vrabel to be a good coach in your mind? And I'm saying, don't go one and done in the playoffs, which is what he always does.
All right.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
I don't even think that's accurate. I think he took Tannehill to the AFC Championship game one year.
After that
lost
year.
to the Chiefs.
After
that.
I believe
Okay.
his
Well,
team upset I believe his team upset the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens,
that year.
yeah. That didn't count though. Apparently,
It was after that game, Tony. It was after that game.
Okay, let's go to the bad. Dallas 24, Philadelphia 21. I put this in bad because now we have to listen to you Cowboy fans think that your team is good again. As far as the Super Bowl champs are concerned, they blew a 21-point lead for the first time in 26 years.
Whoa.
As Dak Prescott rallied the boys.
Prescott on 2nd down, back and runs up out of the pocket. Runs to his left, to the 10, to the 5, cuts to his right. Somersault at the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown for the captain. Touchdown, Prescott. You're too old to somersault. An 8-yard scramble, and they're an extra point away from coming all the way back.
And they would go even further because they'd kick a field goal to win it 24-21 Dallas. Kansas City 23, Indy 20. Overtime game. Why was this in the bad category? Because the Colts should have won this game and eliminated the Chiefs once and for all. 20-9 lead in the fourth quarter. Finally, Patrick Mahomes figured out how to get it done in the late going as the Chiefs won their first close victory of the season.
The Chiefs have never led in this football game. Ariza waits for the go signal. Butker's kick is good, and the Chiefs have not led in this game until now. They get a walk-off field goal in overtime from Harrison Butker. Kansas City 23, the Colts 20 in overtime.
That's a good win for
a great win.
KC to stay alive.
It is.
But I also thought it was impressive for the Colts. On the road, they were right there the whole game. I think this team needs to be believed. And they almost won without Jonathan Taylor doing hardly anything. Finishing up in the bad, we talked about this earlier. J.J. McCarthy, another painful growth game. 5 sacks, 2 picks, a headache, a concussion. Packers roll
Headache.
23-6.
Do you see he's
Tough
self-reported
times.
symptoms after they landed or something?
Yeah, I would self-report too if I played like
Well, something needed to explain those last 2 interceptions he
Right.
threw. It's been a rough year for KOC after he was coach of the year last year and everything went the Vikings' way. Into the uglies, we finish it up with Houston 23, Buffalo 19. Ugly if you're Josh Allen, 8 sacks, an all-time high for him. And Houston looked like they may have the best defense in football if they can carry it through to the playoffs. Allen's day was nothing, though, compared to Geno Smith as Cleveland beat Las Vegas 24-10. Geno was sacked 10 times by Cleveland. That's incredible. Does anybody know the record? It can't be much more than that for one game.
Oh, it was
by a
11, I
team.
believe.
I can't.
Really? They only needed one more?
I think they only needed one more, but I'm not 100%.
Wow.
That was crazy.
All right. On the other side, Shadur Sanders made I would say, a pretty good debut, and this was his best play.
Shador on 3rd down, throws it. Sampson to the flat. Sampson 35. Sampson 40. Sampson, first down. He's at the Raider 35. It's a foot race, and he's gone. Dylan Sampson, touchdown.
I love the way the Cleveland announcer says that, like it happens every week. No, it doesn't, but it did yesterday for Cleveland. Finally, in the ugly category, Mike McCoy and the Tennessee Titans. Boy, bringing the old ball coach in hasn't changed anything for Tennessee. They're now 1-10. We don't have time for the highlight, but suffice to say, Jackson Smith and Jigba dominated again for Seattle.
Hey,
that is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The Titans made it a little bit more of a game there at the end than I think the Seahawks
At
wanted.
the end, but they really never had a chance.
No,
I'll tell you what, Cam Ward does make some great plays, though, from time to time.
Listen.
You can see that there might be something there. They just got to give him a team.
Right. I'm about to say he's literally out there, feels like by himself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he can make some great plays. It's just they don't have much. And then Mike McCoy, I mean, that's just dumb hiring right there. But
It wasn't a hire. It was an interim basis.
Whatever. Okay, well, you know what? Point the guy who's selling beer up in the load section. Bring him down. Mike McCoy. Come on. All right, we got to go. Tomorrow, I'll be traveling. I'll try to check in with you guys, though. That's probably all I can offer. I'll be going cross-country to come back home. Skraby, Tony, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Next, Monday Night Football.
Yes.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Good night, everybody. Yes.